In all my years of going to different reptile shows as well as pet stores, I've learned a lot of quick tips to look for when buying a tortoise. And although getting a new pet tortoise is super exciting for a lot of people, you can often tell just from looking at them whether they are worth buying or if you should probably pass on it. Today, I'm going to go over all the steps to looking into a healthy tortoise when you want to buy one. I'm Sam with Soda's Exotics. Stay tuned. So the first thing that you'd want to look out for when it comes to buying a tortoise is its shell. It's probably going to be the first thing that you do notice about the animal, but there's also a lot of ways you can tell whether or not that animal is healthy just based on its shell alone. Now when looking at the tortoise's shell, you want to check the scutes on the carapace or top of the shell. The healthiest tortoise will actually have a very smooth shell without raised scutes. Now, if it does have raised scutes, it isn't a massive deal. It's actually fairly common in captivity, and these raised scutes are known as pyramiding. I won't go into the causes of it, but if it does have a little bit of it, it isn't the biggest deal. Just keep an eye on the tortoise to make sure it doesn't have a serious case of it, and if it does, refrain from buying that animal. Now, if I flip the animal over to check the plastron or bottom of the shell, I want to look out for any signs of shell rot. This can happen with animals that receive too much or too little humidity. It can be treated fairly easily if caught quick enough, but if the shell is severely rotted, do not purchase that animal. Check the entire shell for any cracks that may be visible along the entirety as well. Also, if you are able to hold the animal, don't hurt it, but give the animal a gentle squeeze. If the shell is very soft, you want to steer away from buying it. You want a tortoise that will have a rock solid shell, and this will show that it's actually healthy and doesn't have any forms of metabolic bone disease. Now, with small tortoises and pancake tortoises, and when I say small, I mean hatchling tortoises, they actually often have soft shells, and pancake tortoises are actually adapted to have soft shells. So those kind of are excluded from this. This is more towards any larger animals. Finally, the tortoise should actually feel much heavier than it looks. A large tortoise that feels very light may have diseases or parasites, and it's best to stay away from that animal. Now, when looking at the eyes of a tortoise, you want to see bright, clear eyes. Any colored discharge coming from the eyes is a sign that the animal is not healthy. However, the eyes can be a little moist, which is fine. Also, you want to see if the eyes are open or if they are puffy. If an animal has eyes that are puffy and closed, this is obviously a clear sign that the animal isn't in the best in shape. You want to stay clear from buying that animal. This takes us to the nose next. A nose should be clear and free of any bubbles or liquids coming from it. More often than not, any of those symptoms is a form of respiratory infection, and although that is treatable, if you are into looking for buying an animal, if an animal has that problem already, it's a good chance it's already been neglected by the seller or breeder, and it may have other problems to follow with that. Next, the beak of the tortoise should be clear cut and not overgrown. An overgrown beak means that it can be difficult for the animal to eat, as well as it can break and cause serious injury to the animal. You can file the beak down, but I still wouldn't purchase that animal because an overgrown beak takes a while to make happen, and this often means the animal, again, has been in signs of not good care already. Along with the beak of the animal, you just want to make sure the nails are also filed down. If a tortoise has overgrown nails, could be a sign of neglect for the breeder or the previous owner. So that's just a thing to look out for as well. With all that, you just want to make sure that the animal is bright and alert. It seems to eat very well. It is strong. It doesn't drag any of its body parts around or anything of that sort. And it just seems to be doing what most tortoises do, which is basically walk around, eat, poop, and then sleep. An animal that looks lethargic or has any of the symptoms that I mentioned above are animals that you do not want to go for or buy. As always, thank you so much for watching. It means everything to me. And if you could also leave a like, a comment, and subscribe, it means even more to me. It takes 2 seconds, and we will see you next Sunday with a new video.